duo from the Southern Hemisphere who believed in the importance of a coaching strategy. Across the Tasman Sea in New Zealand, their exploits were watched by a coach, Arthur Lydiard, and a runner, Peter Snell, who were poised to employ their own radical tactics to win Olympic gold.
Lydiard was the first person that ever told me, Peter, you could be a great runner, you could be even a champion, you could be an Olympian. And that's music to a high achiever's ears to hear someone say that.
Most runners of this era continued to follow the interval training favoured by Paavo Nurmi. Lydiard, a former marathon runner, seen here, believed completing long distances at an even pace was better preparation. He had Snell run over 20 miles a day. No middle distance runner had ever done this before.
Now Lydiard came along and said, well, we need endurance. He said, if you can get to the stage of being able to run my 22-mile course hard and then come back and do the same thing the next day, then you'll be right for anything. And it does get to that. You can actually run that 22 hard and feel great afterwards.
But Lydiard's theory went against all the accepted medical advice of the time and put him at odds with the athletics authorities in New Zealand, who feared runners like Snell would become burnt out.
It just didn't seem to make sense to other coaches. Running at a slow pace for long distances has nothing to do with the 1500 meters.
Like Cerruti, Arthur Lydiard believed in using the natural landscape. The steep hills leading up to the Waitakere Mountains that surrounded Snell's hometown of Auckland were perfect for testing and building his endurance.
Running about an hour a day on grassy surfaces until I was conditioned enough to be able to handle longer runs. The first 10 miles, things are going along quite nicely, and then the work up the hill starts to get to you, and that's good. You look to your right and you see the Tasman Sea, and you look over to the left and it's the Pacific Ocean. It's a great feeling.
Under the direction of Lydiard, Snell's training began to strengthen his heart and lower his resting pulse rate. This put him in peak condition.
The heart is getting bigger and it's able to push more out with each beat. The average person, it's about 70 beats a minute, and so mine eventually got down to about 36. But also, as one starts exercising, there's a long way to go from 36 up to one's maximal heart rate, which is for a young person about 200 beats a minute.
This meant Snell would have greater endurance. He could run faster for longer. Going into the 1964 Olympic Games in Tokyo, Snell felt his endurance was so high that he would attempt to win gold in both the 800 and 1500 meters.
My problem was, would I tire myself in the 800 and not have enough left for the 1500?
Snell won the 800 meters and set a new Olympic record. Now, all eyes were on the 1500 meters. Did Snell have enough stamina to win a second gold?
3 3/4 lengths of the track, regarded by many, the 1500 meters, as the blue ribbon of the game. Back in the familiar position, bringing up the rear of the field, Peter Snell.
The race was relatively slow. I felt that I needed to be up close to the front. And pretty much stayed that way until the main action of the 1500 meters in the last lap.
Look at Snell box now. What's Snell going to do? He's absolutely caught in the curve. There's no way through.
I had to actually push my way out, check whether anyone else was doing anything. Nothing was happening. I thought, well, I'm not going to wait any longer.
Snell's endurance training allowed him to unleash An astonishing final kick.
Look at Snell go. The famous New Zealander's kick. He exploded there.
One can only do this sort of kick if you're floating and cruising. It's not about speed. I need look to be going fast. If you're looking at my running action, I am lengthening my stride and I have the energy left to be able to do that. And I think if you look at film, look pretty relaxed. There's no sort of collapsing over the line stuff, a la Bannister.
Snell's twin victories seemingly vindicated Arthur Lydiard's coaching strategy.